What's going on, guys? We're here to talk about that Astros series this past weekend and how the bullpen really hurt us this weekend. We got a little bit of a heat check, but we'll be fine, especially with the next 2 weeks that we got going on. And we'll get into this next series as well. But let's get into this Astros series. All right. Well, Altuve got booed to the plate to start the game, and just for that, he's decided to hit a home run on the first pitch. And I'm sitting there like, oh, great. Okay. Nice. But Quintana only gave up one more run in his very short outing. He ended up pitching 4 innings, 7 strikeouts, 6 hits, 3 walks. The only really big reason why he only went 4 was because that first inning he loaded up the bases and ended up throwing 36 pitches. So a long game by him again was kind of doomed from that. But the Mets immediately got the first run back, and they couldn't get any more because Tyrone Taylor ended up lining out to short. But it's okay because he sent a shot to tie the game again at 2-2. Ottavino came in. Ottavino came in, had a good outing. He didn't give up any runs. He got a couple people in scoring position, so that's the only thing. But he got out of it clean. 6th inning, the bats came alive. Alonso sent one over the wall. Alvarez doubled. Taylor grounded out. Vientos was safe at first. And then Mr. McNeil woke up. He had multi-hit game this game, which was awesome to see. And he extended their lead to 6-2 by sending a liner right over the wall and right. And he was so animated after, which, I mean, you would expect for how he's been playing, and I'm happy to see that. And also, this game was coming off their Thursday night for the fundraiser they were doing, where they were all jamming out with Iglesias when he was performing his song, which after this game he did end up doing as well for all the fans in attendance right before the fireworks show. But after his home run, they weren't done. The Lindor brought another run later on to bring in McNeil. And in between all that, Nunez came in, pitched a little bit, did good, left a couple on base for Diekman. Then Diekman came in the 8th, quiet inning, thankfully. And like I said before, Lindor gave him another run with a double to bring in McNeil. Then Garrett was in, left a few on base, but got out of that too. Game over, put it in the books, ball game was over. And then, like I said, Iglesias came out to surprise all the fans that playing his new song, OMG, which you can find everywhere. I've been jamming it the whole weekend. On my way to my show with my band, Strange Authority, on Saturday, I was playing it in the car to hype myself up, while also listening to the game in between, which we'll get into that game now. Miguel had a quick 1-2-3 in the first, another leadoff hit for Lindor, then it was out, walk out to end the first. Myers got a home run off McGill in the second. Other than that, nothing else for that inning. Mets bats woke up there with Taylor getting a walk, Vientos singling, Iglesias reaching on an infield hit to start his multi-hit day, which was awesome to see coming off of, the 2 musical performances he had the past 2 days. Tyrone Taylor did come in scoring off that Iglesias hit when Framber Valdez decided to make a whack throw to try and get him out of home using his glove, and he was nowhere close to the catcher. Bader singled in another run, staying clutch. Lindor with a K, but Nimmo brings in Iglesias. Martinez had a very rough weekend. He struck out here. Alonso brings in Bader and Nimmo, and then Alvarez ends that inning. Miguel rolled through the third with only one hit, and it was an infield hit. Viento stayed hot, sending a shot over the wall to make it 6-2. Iglesias doubled, and we were feeling good after that inning ended. Feeling really good, 6-2 lead in the game. Then Miguel gives up a couple runs. Hitting a batter, gave a couple hits. And Singleton, who bothered the Mets the second and third game of this series, started getting hot. And then a quiet few innings until the eighth, where the bullpen decided to have a major meltdown. Oh, I don't even know how to start this. All right. Oh, okay. Walk, out. Garrett comes in for Diekman. Then Garrett gives up another walk, and they get a run on a wild pitch. Then another walk. Then Bregman singled to bring in 2. And from that point, the game was just done. There was no way they were going to figure it out to get more runs in this game. Oh, man. Lindor got the last hit for our guys, in the 8th. And like I said, that was it. 1, 2, 3 in the 9th. It was Martinez, Alonso, and Alvarez, the guys you want up there, but they couldn't get that done. Garrett's shining time that once is sadly way gone, which sucks, especially with the Mets being down a couple people now. Diaz for another few games, Sean Reed-Foley to the IL, Drew Smith to the IL. We're getting a little short, and they haven't really made too many good moves for the bullpen. And they still have Scott down and Buto down, but we'll also get into that. Maybe they'll come up for this next series with the Mets after this game, sending Miguel down. So now we go to Sunday's game. Severino didn't have his best game, even though he did go 7 innings, thankfully. But that ended up not mattering. He had a couple strikeouts, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and this is coming off his 10 strikeout performance last weekend against the Cubs. But, quiet first. Altuve got a hit, whoop-de-doo. And the Mets 1, 2, 3, 4 first for them as well. Singleton, who ended up being 5 for 8 in the whole weekend, hits a home run, and we're all thinking, all right, 1-0. We've done this the whole weekend, whatever. But now it's 3-0. Yanier Diaz singles to bring in Bregman, and then Myers grounds out to bring in Alvarez. And yeah. So then the 5th inning, the Mets get 2 runners on, 2 outs. Mendoza decides to pull Ben Gamel for Tyrone Taylor. Okay. Whatever. This is Ben Gamel's first start for us this year. In AAA, he was batting over 300. But I get it. Lefty, you don't necessarily want that. So you get Tyrone Taylor up, who's been playing pretty good the past week, to then pop out on the first pitch. Come on, man. We're down a couple of runs in this game. We have runners on. Why are we swinging first pitch? I don't remember where the pitch was, but still. Let the pitcher pitch to you. He wasn't expecting necessarily to go against you, but it is what it is. So nothing in that inning for the Mets. But yeah, bloop singles really hurt Severino in this game because Altuve got one, and that brought in the 4th run. And the bottom of the 6th was where the Mets decided to show up a little bit. Vientos drives in Pete and Nimmo with 2 outs, with momentum shifting, and then Tyrone Taylor flies out again to center. Severino gets out of a 2 runners in scoring position to end his day there after this 7th inning. Terens walks, then outs by McNeil and Lindor follow. Then King Nimmo shows up. 2-run shot, which was crazy. I got the phone notification before I saw it on the TV, so my excitement wasn't as much as I wanted it to be, but I was very excited to see we tied the game. So yeah, tie game at 4. X is blowing up. We're all feeling good. Okay, cool. Hauser, 2 good innings to keep us in this game. Terens, he threw out 2 runners in late innings this game. And thank God for him, because it might have ended a lot earlier than we would have expected it to, even with the rain delay being 2 hours. So we're feeling good. And then, yeah, like I said, the rain comes. We're sitting there for 2 hours. Mets bats got quiet, sadly. So Ottavino comes into this game, gives up 1. Mets get it immediately back, thanks to, again, King Nimmo. And then JD Martinez, who ended up going 1 for 11 this weekend. Strikeouts. Strikes out. Oh, man. They intentionally walk Alonso, and that was all she wrote. Nimmo being left on third base really, really screwed them over in the 10th, because the Mets bring in Festa in the 11th. This is his first outing for us as well, just like Ben Gamel. No, Ben Gamel came in another game. But this is Festa's first relief outing for us. And he immediately implodes, giving up 5 in the 11th. I thought we would have been fine if maybe 1 or 2, but then it just kept coming and going. So I didn't understand the decision to bring in Festa here. Yeah, this isn't his first time in the majors, but I know we kind of used our bullpen and we're short right now, but man. Oh, man. So, yeah, he gives up 5 runs and game. 10-5. We lost the series, but if I had to give a series MVP to someone, I'd say it's either Nimmo or Vientos, because they were both very productive on Saturday and Sunday. They kept us in the games when we could have been in the games. The non-MVP, sadly, and normally we would never be saying this, but JD Martinez, he had a very rough series. Like I said before, 1 for 11. He had multiple strikeouts. He had a couple walks throughout the series, but that was it. I don't expect this to be a thing that stays. He's definitely going to wake up this series, get a couple hits at least against the Nationals. But yeah, that was the series against the Astros. We ended up losing that series. Like I said in the intro, a heat check for us. But all right, let's move on to the next series against Washington. New month. Hopefully, same Mets. Peterson versus Gore starts tonight. Lefty-lefty matchup. Mets beat up on Gore last time, dropping 6 on him in 4 1/3 innings. And Peterson is coming off the start against the Yankees, so hopefully he can keep the train rolling. He's definitely pitched a lot better than McGill this year. The Nationals did call up James Wood, their top prospect, so definitely he's someone to look at this series, because I'm sure he'll make some kind of impact. But yeah, I expect Iglesias to get most of the starts over McNeil this week, because there's 3 straight lefty matchups. And Tyrone Taylor, probably the same thing. I really don't want DJ Stewart starting games. because he, like I said in my first episode, he's batting under 200, and they had him start yesterday, and he didn't do anything. So yeah, and he ended up coming out mid-game. Yeah, and game 2, Manaea's on the mound for us. Hopefully he can cut all those walks out. The past 2 games, he's been just walking everybody. But it's like he has one bad inning, then he kind of figures it out, but then can't go long into a game because of all the walks. So hopefully he'll figure it out this game in terms of the walks. GJ Hers, if I'm saying that right, gets to start for Washington. 1-2 record, 5.48 ERA, 1-1 at home, 3.77 ERA at home. So the Mets can definitely get him for a couple at least. Manaea is 3-0 against the Nationals, though, so we can keep that in mind too. Mitchell Parker goes for the Nationals in Game 3, who at home is better than his stat line shows. He is 3-0 and has a 2.27 ERA. But the Mets bats can stay alive like they still were this weekend for the most part. Then we'll be fine. And we also got Quintana on the mound for Game 3, coming off a short outing on Friday. Hopefully we'll feel a lot better going against the Nationals. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, he had 7 strikeouts on Friday, but went short. So he has a little extra rest, even if it really means hours of extra rest. And the last game of the series, the Mets still don't know who they're putting out there because they did send Tyler McGill back down. Hopefully this means either Christian Scott or Jose Buto are coming back up, or both, because they can run a 6-man rotation right now. I think that'd be very beneficial for them to do, especially with the word being Senga is going to be doing rehab assignment soon. Granted, we have been hearing that multiple times throughout the past month or so. So I'll believe it when I see it actually in motion. Because they've been posting too, oh, Kodai Senga is in uniform throwing on the field. Okay, great. Let's get a new update that's not this for the 3rd time. So yeah, we'll see. Game 4, the Nationals have Jake Irvin taking the mound. He is 6-6, 3.03 ERA, 1-5 against the Mets with a 4.36 ERA at home. He is coming off a good outing though against the Rays, giving up 1 hit off 1 run, which with that being a home run. I expect DJ Stewart and or Gamble to make the start on this game because Irvin is a righty. McNeil will probably get the start here. Iglesias definitely, hopefully, the other 3 games because his bat is still hot. He didn't play for a bit, but his bat is still hot. So yeah, we'll see. This series will really tell partially how the month will go. I know right now we have the 2nd easiest schedule going for the rest of the year. I believe the Angels is the easiest in the league for the rest of the year. But don't always believe that because we saw how the Mets started this year. We saw how June started and ended, that whole month itself. So we don't know what's going to happen. But the next 2 weeks, you got the Nationals twice. You got the Pirates at the end of this week. And I believe, the Rockies after the Nationals back at home. We'll see. These next 2 weeks will really tell us what this team is going to be doing, especially going into the All-Star break. So, yeah. That is it for this episode of the New York Zero Hour. So, if you like what you heard, if you like what we're talking about, go ahead and give us a subscribe or a follow. I'm going to be working on also some New York Knicks stuff because there's been a lot of stuff happening over the last week. So if you like the Knicks, Giants, Rangers, and obviously your New York Mets, go ahead and give us a subscribe, a like, follow, because this is what we'll be talking about throughout this whole channel. So thank you for checking in, listening in, and see you for the next one.